Alright, next part of our playthrough, and we're gonna go to the garage because we have some championships that are coming up and we need to go like actually racing, so I need to find our Gillette Vertigo. I feel like this would be the best car that fits in. I call it a GT All-Star, even if it's not officially recognized in this championship, but I'd say it's pretty popular among the GT meme community. And I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna buy tires. I'm gonna go with regular slicks, just so I can have a little bit more grip. And then I'm gonna buy a stage 1 NA tune-up, but I'm not going to install it. You'll see why later. And that's all we need to do with the car. So, we're gonna go to the Amateur League, and we're gonna hit up Gran Turismo All-Stars. It is a championship, 25,000 credits per win, so it's pretty nice. No limitations, just the IB license, and it's a 10 race championship. I believe these are all 5-lap long races, so let's just get right into it. I've driven the Venom F5 in like a test drive, but I haven't even looked at the special event because 1, I don't have the Legend Pass, and 2, I don't grind Asphalt 9 anymore. So let's see, we got Corvette C5R, an NSX, 2 rally cars. Okay, so 2 JTGCs, 1 GT car, and 2 rally cars. So that's like a decent mix. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the driving aids, and we're gonna just make sure that our everything's equipped properly. So no NA tune-up, even though we have that available. That's just if things get bad in this championship and we need to upgrade. That's like our safe upgrade. And then yeah, we have the slicks on, so let's just get right into it. Make a GTR Nismo run. Yeah, this car's not good off the line, but I think across the championship we'll be just fine. Save for maybe test course, where that's where I think we might need to use the upgrade. I did a little bit of top speed testing. I don't think the stock car can hit it without some luck. You guys had a good week? Hopefully. Someone keep me posted if they're going to restart Q3 and F1. I am curious to know if they'll do that. I feel like it would take at least an hour to repair the track, but who knows. And I don't know how the weather is out there. Send it on corkscrew. This car's a little bit difficult to drive. You just gotta make sure you don't lose the front end, or rather the rear. The car likes to step out. Like that. The thing is, if our car steps out, it hurts our tires. That's why I went with the slicks. So no news yet. Because they're doing extensive repairs. I saw they had the truck out. I'm gonna try and move. Yeah, see, we didn't need the NA tune-up. At least not at this stage. I'll try to keep stock. Well, I think this should be a good enough championship. This is fair. And it's comparable. And I'd say it's an all-star. And I think it'll probably be the only time we'll drive this car in the game for like a series. Because as we get further into the game, you know, we'll have some cooler cars that we can like mess around with, some championships and endurance and all that. I'm like trying to throttle. I'm using R2 as my input, and funny enough, the R2 button is pressure sensitive, so you can, if you're careful, you can throttle the input a little bit. So I'm trying to do a little bit better with that. Use some downforce. Can you guys hear the game audio fine? Just curious. Whoa. Big spin. Pull the tires a little bit. That was not helpful for tire wear. Yeah, this is actually going pretty easy so far. It's good. Nice. I mean, I think we should still continue with this. I think maybe just AI are slow and rubber banding has just done its thing. I mean, one thing I did think about was the S2000 LM race car. But I think I remember Ryan GT4 trying that and it not working well for him. So I think this is fine. Because I think the Lister Storm is one of the possible opponents, and I kind of compare this with the Lister Storm. So I think this is a fair car. Q-State restarting in 3 minutes. Whoa. Okay. That's a pretty short notice, unless they announced that a while ago. But 2 minutes, okay, right at the end of this race. So I think I'll check it out. So I imagine Lando Norris is fully out of qualifying because, well, he wrecked his car. He probably needs a new engine and gearbox or whatever. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead. I'm wondering if we should try running on the mediums and try to go faster and then do a pit strategy. Sounds stupid on a 5-lap race, but I think it's definitely something to think about. Anyway, we take race 1 pretty easily. Alright. Let me see what's going on in the F1 world. Yeah. 13 seconds back. That's a pretty convincing win. And the rally cars are nowhere. That's kind of expected, though. We could have tried a rally car, but their top speed is so bad we wouldn't have been able to get a test course. So, this should be a pretty straightforward championship. So, we'll just try to get some good thumbnail locations. And, I think we'll keep... Well, we won't save. I think we're going to lock in using this car. But let me see. I'm going to tune into qualifying and see. Oh yeah, they're running. Alright, that resumes that issue. So, back to the game. Second race is Deep Forest. I think we've probably done a whole race distance with just the AI, but yeah. I'm sure you guys don't care about GT3 right now. I certainly don't. I tried to control the throttle on the launch scene, but it didn't really work. I think you just need traction control. George Russell just qualified in second place in his Williams. For those watching the video archive, it might just seem like a regular cut, but we just watched the last part of Q3, and George Russell just went second place. Second, only behind Max Verstappen, in a Williams, in the wet. Probably his best performance in his whole career. Oh, I rammed the Corvette. Didn't mean to do that. I'll drop back a bit before going for a move. Yeah. Could Russell win the race tomorrow if it rains, you guys think? It could be anybody. Maybe not Lando Norris, though. We'll see how his car is. I feel for Lando. He got robbed from the FIA, because that should have been red flagged. I feel like Lando would have gotten pole position today, after seeing what happened. What happened with George and how Lando was in Q1 and Q2, that could have been his pole position. There we go, we got properly wet qualifying. What a performance. Latifi had a great qualifying too. I think he qualified 12th, so I think Williams will be celebrating tonight, no matter how the race goes, but obviously more points is great. It will show that Hungary wasn't just a one-off performance. And to be fair, Williams looked decent. I knew they were going to score points at some point, but I think Hungary wasn't an accident. Latifi might not score more points, but Russell, definitely possible, especially tomorrow. He starts such at a high position, and this track, if it's dry, usually produces boring races, but if it's wet, who knows? Anybody's game. Yeah, I know everybody's hyped from Belgium qualifying. Man, by the time this video goes up, it will be weeks past. We'll already have known the race result by the time the video goes up, but we'll just cherish it for now while we're live. Ooh, a bit too wide. I'm trying to see if I can push this car to the limit because I'm just trying to drive hot laps. Sometimes Gran Turismo is like that, where sometimes you just misjudge the AI, but due to stuff like rubber banding or how the AI evolves during the championship, you just can't fully predict that. I don't want to like fix the results or anything like that, but I'm driving the car, which I think will do fine in this series with what we have. And go from there. Alright. So now we have some more viewers. I imagine a lot of you guys just came from Belgium qualifying. I know some of you guys are there, but what did y'all think? Aside from Lando's crash, I thought that was one of the most entertaining qualifying sessions this year. Alright, let's try to hook this corner up. Like, you feel like you can, like, full throttle it, but it just turns in even more, this corner. This one, too, is kind of tricky. It's a nail. Because the car likes to step out. Russell fastest lap, but Verstappen got in. I know, Max spoiled the fun. Like, for me, I'm a neutral fan for the title. I really don't care who wins it this year because I think the fight is pretty entertaining. But that was the one time I didn't want Max to do well. I wanted Max to make a mistake or at least not go faster in the final sector. Man, I'm gonna re-listen to that commentary because I'm sure the commentators got hyped, and some of the YouTubers also probably got hyped too. I think everyone's happy with today's qualifying, except for Lando Norris, because that could have been his pole position. And nobody listened to him and Seb. Both of them called for a red flag right before their laps, and Norris cracked like seconds within starting his run. So they were right. Because drivers are usually right, because, you know, they're the ones that are actually on the track, seeing what it's like. I got a little bit upset there on the dip. Around the final corner. Yeah, gap is not too far back there. See, this is tricky calling the AI, because they're right there along the final corner. Why not use the Tommy car as easy to, because you can't purchase that car in this game, and I don't have it. You have to win it in a series later on. And yeah, we don't have access to it right now. So, the NSX, once again, being strong. The rally cars even got within 13 seconds this time. Not that the championship fight is too concerning to me, but this definitely is looking, well, pretty one-sided. Race 2 done. I know it's been half an hour since we streamed, but that was interrupted by F1 mostly. That was a 6-minute race. It should take about an hour to an hour and a half about to fully do everything. I think we'll stick with it because we have no upgrades on this besides the tires. We didn't install the stage 1 tune-up. I'm going to try launching in second. Didn't get the wheel spin in second gear, but it still doesn't seem very good. Tires are cold. I don't know if tire heat's a huge thing, but oh, the radio was on. I turned off my stream, but we'll listen to it. Maybe after this race. I'll try and find a Reddit clip or something. Two Daytona races, yeah, that's usually asking for trouble. Yeah, in the professional league, there's some really long championships, so we'll be doing those. It's just I don't know how to plan around it because wow, I just got passed by a rally car. I don't know how to plan around it because, well, they're really long, like 4, 5, 6 hour championships, depending on what car we use. So that's, you know, multiple streams for what I'm available for. So that would take like a month to complete the championship. Alright, let's get in the slipstream a bit. Brake a little early. See if I can go in the inside and pass at least one of them. Pass 2. Nice. And we pass for the lead. Yeah, endurance races also. They feel long, but in GT3 actually they're pretty manageable. You could do it all of them in one stream. I do like one endurance per stream. So it'll take a couple months for us to get through all the enduros, but this is still a long game. I know I seem like Gran Turismo Focus channel, but that's because GT3 is a long game. lap 3. It looked like the AI stepped up, but we're right back to normal. But yeah, now we are doing a challenge GT3. Our playthrough is we will maximize every license. So first I did all the no license races, got my B license, did all the B license races, got my A license, so on and so forth. So right now we're on the IB races, so I will complete all the IB races before getting my IA license. And I don't know, I have to fit rally in somewhere. I could have done it probably after A license, but I'm thinking maybe between IB and IA. Because IA is where the game really steps up. And then with the IA series, I don't know if we should do endurances first, or in between, or after we do the race series. Because there's a lot available. The good news with endurance races is, well, there's multiple criteria to choose from, and across the board you'll get great prize cars. So we can use them in the IA series, or we could do the IA series with what we have and then use those prize cars in the endurance races. You don't know. But in terms of like places to use all our cars, we don't have that much space left. Yeah, Russell in P2. There's no excuse now, Toto Wolff. That pen, like, okay, if Mercedes doesn't sign Russell, I think we all have permission to torch their headquarters. Okay, watch them sign Russell and then Williams becomes a top tier team. Is this the beginning of a Williams revolution? Are they about to turn into 1997 Williams? 1996 Williams? 1992 Williams? Is Latifi going to be the champion next year? Hey, you know what's similar to 2022? 1992. Just saying. So this version of GT3 doesn't have the Lamborghini Diablo GT, but if you put in a memory card and use the trade garage function, you could actually buy it on the North American version. And mini spoiler, I have a memory card with that car on it, so we could buy the Diablo from our other memory card if we wanted to. It'd be really funny. But yeah, we certainly can, and then we can use it. I'm thinking we might try that for one of the endurance races, just to completely throw something off guard. So yeah, the Diablo's in the game's code. You can't buy it or win it normally, but if you trade with a memory card, you certainly can buy it. Alright, so race 3 done. That was also pretty short. 6 minutes. I thought these races would be a little bit longer, but that's why I thought we'd get multiple, and who knows how long to go. NSX, another strong showing. Just sending a text. Alright, so I'm going to save the game. We're going to commit to the Gillette. And, I'm going to find that radio. Let's keep moving on. Well, Seb's always been respectful for, you know, incidents and stuff. And also he's directly behind Norris, so he went up to him. So this is test course. So our car at stock on the current settings we're not fast enough. So this is 6681. We're gonna drop our downforce all the way down. I'm gonna lower our final gear just a little bit, just to 3.80. And then we're gonna change parts. We're gonna put on the NA tune-up, just to give us horsepower boost, and you'll see why in a second. This is why I also saved beforehand. I'm gonna see if I can like brake during the start to cool my tires. Alright, don't worry about the bad start. Because now we have some more horsepower. Norris also called for a red flag right before he started his lap, and that could have been him losing his life there. That would have been a scary radio to look back on. It's still a scary radio to look back on, but we're lucky he, is alive. And let's see. So top speed is 203. Our goal is to catch up to that group, which are going about 200 miles an hour. But with no downforce, we'll have pretty good speed. Yeah, we'll catch him. So this is what I meant by we need the upgrade. Just for this race only, probably. And we're hitting the rev limiter, so we're not going way too fast. I think this is good enough for the group. We might break away. Yeah, I heard his arm. I saw there was a Reddit thread that said his arm was getting an X-ray. He might, if he broke his arm, then he's out for a few races. Certainly the triple header. They need to call up a reserve driver. Alright, so our top speed's a little bit, just a hint too fast. But, I mean, with test course, well, if you don't have the top speed, you're losing anyway. You'd have to do a bunch of throttle shenanigans. And you know what? This Corvette's keeping up. Ooh, is there a fight against the Corvette, you think? Let's let him through. We've broken him away from the NSX and the Skyline. Do you think Bottas will be replaced next Grand Prix? I think that's a bold move if they do it like that. I don't think it's impossible, though. So Corvette has declared a fight. We are racing a Corvette now. I don't know who's McLaren's reserve. I forget if it's through Mercedes. If McLaren has Mercedes reserve drivers, then Hülkenberg actually could return. I think the order is Pato Award, because he's a McLaren Junior. I don't know if he'd go up from IndyCar though. That's a tall order. There's Stoffel Van Dorn. There's Nico Hülkenberg. Who else is a Mercedes reserve? What if Russell got the McLaren seat for that one race? That would be absolutely wild. But it's not impossible. I don't know what McLaren's contract with Mercedes is, but I don't know if they have their own reserve driver. Someone needs to tell me if someone needs to tell me what McLaren's policy is on reserve drivers is. If they have their own, then well, it's going to be one of McLaren's reserves. But if it's Mercedes, then that blows the door wide open on who it could be. Paul di Resta. I don't think Paul di Resta would return though. He would not do well. I mean, no offense, PDR, if you're happening to be watching this, but well, he hasn't driven an F1 car in many, many years, and he did a one-off for Williams like 4 years ago, and he did okay, but he didn't really he didn't go fast. He did one race. Hülkenberg, Aston Martin has like a direct link to Mercedes. Aston Martin and Mercedes share on reserve drivers. It's like a pool of talent, right? Nick De Vries is also on there. Is he from McLaren? Oh wait, he's from Mercedes, yeah. So it's Stoffel Van Dorn, Nick De Vries, Paul di Resta, and then Hülkenberg is more directly to Aston Martin, but I think he has something where he can go to Mercedes if they want. Now, is Russell out for the race tomorrow? Because then they need to get a driver tonight. But then I don't know, they might retire his entry. Who knows? For all we know, Norris could be fine. He just had a sore arm, and he'll be in the race tomorrow, and at Monza, and at Zandvoort. And this will just be a fever dream. So, interestingly, in the race, by the way, that we're doing, the Corvettes dropped back. and is behind the NSX again. So he was fighting for the lead with us. And I guess his slipstream is so strong that when he got out of our slipstream, he dropped all the way back to the rest of the group. I'm texting and driving. Don't do what I'm doing. Looks like the group, they're not coming back, but look, the Corvette's ahead again. I don't think DeResta ever drove for McLaren. He did Force India, and then he did a short, well, he did a one-off race at Williams in 2017, replacing Felipe Massa for one race. I think it was Hungary that year. So NSX is back, only 2.5 seconds back. 2.4, oh, they're catching up slightly. They're slowly crawling back. 2.4. I mean, I think we're solid for the win, but keep an eye on them. Yeah, Le Mans happened, and I saw Kubica, his car and team, experienced a 2016 Toyota moment, where their car failed on the last lap. That's a heartbreak, but that's motorsport, and that's endurance. Just like Toyota in that year, you could have everything set, but if your car can't make it in 24 hours, then, well, off to the Shadow Realm. Delatraz. Louis Delatraz. I don't think he was complaining about getting the Haas seat a long time ago. I don't think anyone wants to drive for Haas right now. Alright, one lap. That was our PB. No slipstream. Still 2.5, the gap to everybody else. NSX is in control of the lead. 2.4. Looks like they're giving a slipstream and they're slightly faster. Yeah, Bergunson tested an Alfa Romeo. I think it was a paid private test. I don't think he's actually going to be in F1 anytime soon, but you never know. Never say never. I don't think Alpha is exactly hurting financially, though. They have the Ferrari support. They basically get a driver. And their results, well, they've been kind of crap this year. They're better than Haas. But it does look like Williams will keep their momentum and try for 8th place. They got a pretty good foundation built up. If Russell could hold that P2, that would be absolutely crazy. So, on the back straight for the last time. Test course. The test course is boring, but you guys all know that. I've had my two fingers like alternating to press R2. In GT4 you can have multiple acceleration inputs. In GT3 you can only have a single one. So I normally like put a rubber band in the right stick and just call it a day. I should have done that for this race, but oh well. Yeah, Russell's going to be an automatic driver of the day tomorrow. You know it. He doesn't even have to finish the race to do it. Unless, like, one of the midfield drivers wins. Anyway. Final straight. Gillette Vertigo. with the win on test course. That was boring. My fingers kind of hurt. But Corvette couldn't hold off. Look, he just missed out on P2. And yeah, the rally cars even were 11 seconds back. Not that far off. I won't save the replay. He'll get the shot from midfield. Russell uses 100% power. He used all his good luck for one session. He's gonna like be gifted the lead, and then he's gonna like crash with like a lap to go or something. I hope not though. But you know, with his luck, that's what's gonna happen. All right, back to our normally scheduled. Let's take off the NA tune. Keep the tires on. Let's get our downforce back. I think it was 66 and 81. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then our gear ratio is, I think, 852. Not that we'll need the top speed, but just to keep it, you know, stock. Gran Turismo 3 was released in 2001, so this game is 20 years old now. This is only race 5. We've been going for almost an hour now, and we're only at the halfway point of the championship bout. I want to say did the AI seem tougher because we're probably going to catch him next lap, but we haven't passed so easily. We haven't caught the big 3. It would have been fun to race all GT cars. I could have tried to cycle the AI to get that, but what's the fun in burning up days and wins and stuff? I know we did that for the American Championship, but I feel like we could do that in a more important championship. Alright. Yeah, the last time they had a front row start was Monza 2017 with Stroll, and that was because the Red Bulls had grid penalties. Russell did this on merit. Imagine if Max took his engine penalty today and Russell started on pole position. That'd be crazy, right? Haha, JK. Unless... if it rains tomorrow, anybody can win. Verstappen has a great chance of winning, obviously, because he's on pole position, but I think anybody could win. We saw in Hungary, just a wet start can completely scramble it up, even if the rest of the race is dry. Obviously, I hope nobody like crashes and gets hurt. I don't want another Lando Norris. I don't want what's happened in W Series or in the 24 Hours of Spa this year. Because we've had 2 nasty crashes that could have been really, really bad. Already in just this year alone. And then of course we have 2019 F2 that we all know about. And Lando's crash was in the same spot as all those 3 other accidents, so well, you have to be lucky that there was nobody right behind him going full speed. That'll walk away with maybe at the worst a broken arm. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is we hope for safety tomorrow. And the race director, Michael Massey, should have been fired after Turkey last year with his incident with the tractor, but... or Verstappen in Baku, having him just like full... That was just so dangerous when they didn't call a safety car until like a full minute and a half after he crashed. I don't know. I don't think they should call Radion. They should not name a corner after where a driver dies. Nobody ever does that. You don't hear the Senna corner where Tamburello is, or the Earnhardt corner, you know, in the turn 4 at Daytona. You just don't. That's disrespectful for the driver. You name a corner on a track they liked. So maybe like at Paul Ricard there could be an Antoine Hubert corner, but not at Spa, and definitely not at Radion. Senna's corner is in Brazil, the first turn. Schumacher has a corner at Nürburgring. Hamilton has a corner at Silverstone. The rally car is pitting in at lap 3. Wow, both of them. They're just eating their tires. And yeah, I'm sure all the legends will eventually get corners named after them. I think Jim Clark has a corner named after him somewhere. Maybe Silverstone or something. Or Brands Hatch or whatever. Yeah, Senna's at Sao Paulo. Not at Imola. Say hi. I know who you are, Subin. I just don't want to give in to the shout out crowd. But welcome back. Hope you've been well. Yeah, I think there's a Sabine Schmitz curve at Nordschleife that they just put in this year. Yeah, the Venom F5 special event, guys. Like, I realized something a while ago, but like once you step away and just take a look from the outside and you realize like, wow, why did I commit to something? I'm not saying my time at Asphalt 9 was a mistake, but you know, I shouldn't have pondered about it for so long. I feel like I left the game at the right time, but just like many people I saw who left Asphalt 8 before I did and left Asphalt 9 before I did, like, once you step away, you can see why. You could see why people want to leave. So I noticed that the events get more pay to win. They're relying more on trying to gimmick and jib people out of buying the Legend Pass and packs and loot boxes, kind of like every game does. They're not an outlier. And it's a shame because the player base gets mad, but they still play it. They still want to have fun, but you know, realistically, even Asphalt 8 Plus like looks like good on paper, but there's cards in there. Yes, the upgrades are cheaper, but at the end of the day, you're paying like, isn't it like $10 or $15 a month for Apple Arcade? I know it's money going to Apple. I think GL gets a commission out of it. You're paying to have no ads pretty much, which is like the regular version of Asphalt 8 anyway. So, I don't know. That's just my hot take. Asphalt 9, yeah. We knew it was coming on the Xbox, but there's a trailer now, I guess. I haven't watched it because, well, it's going to be the same. I feel like Asphalt 9 would not do well on Xbox because we have Forza. So what was Russell's gap to max? I'm just curious. Can I see a table? Russell was 0.3 off of max. Alright, Rome Circuit's next. Keep just going with the tires. Am I gonna order Horse's Drive? I'm gonna buy it, but I want to wait for it to go on sale because I don't know if my computer can run it. I think it can, just probably on lower settings, but I don't have an Xbox Series. I have an Xbox One, but I don't think it would run very well on it. I just wait for you know, to see how it runs on PC. It'll run fine, I'm sure. Well, my card's going through the barrier there. But yeah, I will buy Forza Horizon 5 at some point, just probably not at launch. It will be good. Like, I don't need to see a review to wait to see if it's good, but personally, I don't want to buy a $100 Ultimate Edition game. I'd just rather just get it on a discount, maybe on like Black Friday or a Christmas sale or something, and just play it on PC. I gotta show you guys something I got. Something I added to my game collection. I didn't show it on Discord, but I'll tell you guys about it on why you shouldn't buy games at launch unless it's a very, very specific thing. But in general, you shouldn't buy games at launch. Whoa. Okay. Forza 5 on Steam. Yeah, it's on my Steam wishlist. So we get a big step out. Almost a Spinola. Let's go downforce. Oh yeah, no wall tap. Boost cost credits again. Wow, just like in the old days. Back in 2013. I hear S-Class cars are actually cheap now. Yeah, the Venom F5 requirements are ridiculous. Oh, I'm just going to respond to this text I just got, sorry. Let's go back. See, if you're going to send a text message while you're in a car, you should stop. Whether that means pausing your game or just pulling over to the side of the road or in a parking spot. But never text and drive. I know some of you can't drive yet, but that should be an obvious rule. Vertigo's a little tricky, but it's basically a combination of, well, trying to not step on the throttle at certain points and then try to turn the car sort of lightly and kind of ease the car into corners. It also helps that we have no upgrades on it besides the tires. The tires are slick, so it actually has less grip. Yeah, are pretty tight now. Yeah, we had made the right call to use the Gillette. Some of these races are trickier than others, but... So see, like on the curve, the car slips out, so you kind of have to like release the steering and kind of judge it in sort of a split second. Samsung or Apple. See, if I see my car start to drop, I drop the throttle, sort of counter steer it, but not quite, and then drop the gear. So Samsung or Apple? Neither. I think both are... I don't want to say terrible companies because they make some great products, but I think both of them are pretty scummy. I would say, if I was younger, I would say Samsung because I had a Samsung tablet and I thought Samsung was supposed to be that cool brand that, you know, listened to their customers, but they're a bunch of fakes. You know, there's stuff like, oh, we have a headphone jack in our phone, back when Apple removed the headphone jack. But then just a couple years later, Samsung removes their headphone jack. They do the whole, what what's the divot called? The notch, whatever it's called, in the top of your phone screen. Samsung did it too. Oh, the curved screen. Oh, no expandable storage. Oh, I think actually Samsung's do have the expandable storage. You know, charging thousands of dollars for a phone, a single phone. And their camera still can't even match Apple. I have a OnePlus 6. I bought it 3 years ago. The battery's kind of crappy now, but the rest of the phone performs great. And in terms of cameras, I just ended up buying a real camera, a mirrorless camera, so I can take good photos without having to keep deleting storage. Once you get like to an adult where you're not like gaming on your phone, if you don't care about games, all you really need your phone is email, internet browsing, YouTube videos, battery. Those 4 things are the only thing you really need, and that could be done with a good processor. But there are phones that are cheap that you don't need to drop $1,200 for. Yeah, W Series had an absolutely massive crash. That was really scary, and I think that's also because of the wet track. Maybe ice or something, but... yeah, that was a scary crash. Norris would get a penalty if he has to change his gearbox and engine, which I think is actually likely because if you watch the crash again, he absolutely demolished the backside of his car. Like, absolutely smashed it. I think his engine and gearbox was flying out. It's in the stands, basically. So I think he needs a new one, so he'd have to do a pit lane start, maybe some more penalties. But that's assuming he can race tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe something's been posted since this race started, but I don't know. You guys have to keep me posted on if he's cleared or how he's doing. But you notice how nobody's saying like, oh, Norris is hospitalized. Even though he's probably in a more severe incident than Max was at Silverstone. I swear, some fans are just so biased. I know it's hypocritical for me to say it's a Vettel stan, basically, but some fans get overboard. I'd say even in the Vettel camp, there are some fans that are like way too into it, and they're like, it's like dream stan level simping for F1 drivers to make, you know, so much money and just drive a car around. I'm not trying to say that to mean them, but they put way too much energy into following people that don't know they exist. Four races to go, and we actually haven't guaranteed the championship yet. That's another 25k in the bag. We are racking up money, by the way. We are going to be rich after this. We're going to be rich after this. Then we can play around some money. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, Seattle Circuit. Y'all into the drill. Let's go. It is an S20 Ultra. It's a really good phone. Is it a good phone because you have it? I'm sure it's good, but is it like $1,000 good? I don't know. I feel like a lot of phones just have features and stuff that you don't really need. At least as somebody who uses their computer. For some people, all they have is their phone, and yeah, you'll probably need that to do some crucial stuff, but if you have like a tablet or a computer, laptop or something, you don't need a super beefed up phone. Because even like when I was playing Asphalt, I played the PC version because the PC version runs better than what my phone can do. And games take up a ton of battery anyway, so unless you're like walking around with a charge pack and stuff like that, your battery's gonna, all batteries in all phones eventually go to crap. They're just not good. After a couple of years, they just drop off. I've had this in every single phone I've had. My brother has an iPhone. He has a similar story. He has an iPhone 11. All phones just have crappy batteries. So unless you explicitly replace the battery. But I've had bad luck with getting battery replacements. And my laptop battery, my replacement battery, only lasted like 9 months, and then it got like absolutely terrible life, like less than an hour, and now it just drains if I don't have it plugged in. It drains in seconds. I was gonna hit the inside wall, but guess not. Lap 2. Yeah, the screen is a higher refresh rate, but it will use more battery. It's all about trade-offs. You know, when I used to have a slide phone, that's what I call it. You know, it had like the keyboard when you slid it out. That battery would last 5 days. And I know all you'd pretty much do is call and text on it. There was an internet browser, but it was extremely slow. But it lasted. I only needed to charge it once a week pretty much. And I used to go to like school and go to like events and stuff with it having, you know, 0 bars. It was a 3-bar system. It had 0 bars and it would make it to the end. I've only had it die on me a couple times, ever. Meanwhile, my phone and computer have died multiple times. And I had to bring like a charger with me if I had to go out for more than a few hours. Alright. So this race seems a little bit tougher. AI looks like they stepped up a little bit. But let's challenge yourself to try and win with the stock Gillette. I won't try to run away by putting in the tune-up. Thing is, this car is a little tricky to drive. Your tires are kind of hurting. iPhone 7 came out years ago, though. I just need to have a good run on the NSX. Charging lasts for days. See, I don't know. That sounds kind of simpy. My roommate had a Samsung S9 and his battery was absolutely terrible. His would only last a half an hour. And he had his only for like a year and a half. He upgraded to an S20. He says so far it's nice, but he only got it a month ago. I don't know. I feel like any like people who simp for phones, like, they're way too into it. They've never seen a good PC. So, no offense. But have you seen what they do for like right to repair and stuff? Like, you like the product, a single product, but their pricing, their customer service, and their quality over time, and what they do in their marketing versus what they actually put out, makes me not, you know, trust the company that much. I'm playing on a Samsung TV, ironically. The TVs, I think, the cheap TVs are nice. The smart TVs, I think, are scammy. They have ads on a Samsung TV that you could pay thousands of dollars for. That's kind of ridiculous. Has to go for a move. Nokia 3310. It is a brick. Isn't it like a modern version or something? Or no, it's a modern Nokia, you know, Razor, whatever. Or no, not Razor. There was like a modern version of the Nokia, you know, old style phone that has like a LCD screen and stuff like that. That was just released like last year, I think. Did Vettel get a grid penalty? Oh my god, that would be such a stupid penalty. But that would be a Sebastian Vettel thing, is to get a penalty for dangerously stopping. The thing is, the session was red flagged. The session was already red flagged, so he was going up to the accident scene, so he's actually doing probably one of the safest moves. Because nobody's going full speed on a red flag. That is absolutely not a penalty. If that is, like, the FIA just hates him. He must have made a deal with the devil or something. Now, I know Games Next Year currency is probably different, but PS5's, at least here, for a disc version, the MSRP and what I paid for mine was $500. If you try to get it from a scalper, you're going to pay a lot more than that. Probably up to like $1,000 or $1,200. But yeah, because nobody started their lap yet. Everybody was just starting to leave the garage and stuff at that point. Did they give him a penalty? Did they give him a penalty? Or are you just reading stuff? Stop scaring me. I don't see anything that indicates that he's getting a penalty. No. There's nothing. Okay, that's misinformation. Someone's trolling you, man. Advitashi, that's fake news that you're listening to, if you think that was a penalty. Where'd you get it from? If you say Facebook or Discord, then, well, do your own analysis. Don't take things that literally. Just do some simple research. Check the F1 website. Check the F1 official website, or check Reddit, or check, you know, journalists on Twitter or something. But don't take a Discord message as fact. I saw the cat box. $60,000 for iPhone 12. Wait, so a PS5 is like less than half the price of an iPhone 12. I mean, I guess that makes sense because that's like what it's like here. But yeah, that's crazy stuff. The folding smartphones, yeah. You mod it, the camera's not usable. That's what I mean with like right to repair stuff. I'm just gonna quickly check Twitter. Just double check. There shouldn't be one though. Alright. NSX once again, holding the fort. But now we've not won the championship yet, actually. It's 42 points now. Less than a 30-point gap. So we still need to win. We could still lose it. I'm just gonna get more thumbnail shots. Just keep racking them up. You guys have different currencies, so 25k or 880k currencies are different in other countries. So this is Route 11, this is a longer race. Which phone would I get? Do you mean 5G or just like regular phone? Any phone? I'd probably upgrade to another OnePlus because I like my OnePlus. They seem to be pretty good and their pricing is still pretty good. Some of their like flagship phones, even though they're supposed to be the original model is supposed to be a budget phone, so I even think OnePlus is kind of scummy nowadays. Some of their pricing is ridiculous, but their sales are great, I will say, if you buy from the OnePlus store. I'd probably get like a OnePlus 8 or something. I know the 9's out, but usually the previous model, which only comes out every 6 months, goes on sale. When I got my OnePlus 6, the 6T had just came out, so I got the OnePlus 6 on a Black Friday deal. Which LG? I don't know. My dad is like a G7. And he generally likes it, but I think that came out years ago. Whoa, these rally car going in deep. We gotta just clear them and just move along. Control the slide. Jeez, Evo. I mean, this car is pretty hard to drive around Route 11, but I gotta bully these guys. Oh my god. It's just like that race last week. I'm gonna actually punt him. Get out of here. Alright, now we gotta catch the other guys, which that's totally ruined my race. So 4 seconds, we gotta catch up. Alright. Caught up to the big three. Oh, this is so stressful. Air is so bad on this track. Whoa, that's a spin for me. That was my mistake. Okay, regroup. I've seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie. It looks good. It looks like it will be a good movie. Oh my god, he's blocking me and it kills my tires. Every time I try to get a good run on him, something happens. I'm trying to stay in third gear. This car is so awkward to handle. Okay, we dropped 3 seconds at least. Use our downforce. Use our slipstream. Dude, I'm trying to race. I see your chat. You have the ones currency. I'm just annoyed by the AI. So sorry if I seem annoyed. It's because I am from the AI. But I don't have like 17 eyes. I have just 2. So I try to read the track so I don't lose the race. And then if I try to read chat, I'm not looking at the road, and I crash so many times if I try to do both. You guys know that if you watch me play Asphalt. I'd always shut up and focus if I was on a good lap. So Justin, you're officially out of Asphalt 9. Congratulations. Welcome to the Big Boys Club. It's pretty peaceful. Once you like stop caring and worrying about signing in all the time to do the credit run or grind Grand Prix or get a good time at like 2 a.m. on the final day. Yes, costs that many wands. Yeah, I saw your message for that. But like I said, currencies are different, so I have no idea how that converts to US dollars. But I've seen, I think there's one Samsung phone, I don't know if they still make it, but it's like the Note. The Note is somewhere around like $1,500, $1,500 US dollars. So I don't know what the conversion of that is. We're just gonna go. We're gonna send it. NSX had a huge step out. April Fool's 2021. Oh, I made it. Of course I remember it. Guys, I'm a robot. I have people make the videos for me. No, I remember making that. Of course I do. Oh god. 2 cars don't fit into one spot. Yeah, I've seen the thing that your dad uses an S20. You think you've written that like 10 times now. Just because I don't explicitly read out your message doesn't mean I don't see it. Well, thanks for subbing, Nindusk. Welcome to the club. Those sub notifications don't come in very often, but when they do, it's a good time. So welcome. Alright. We're actually fighting for the lead here, which is... It's good. It's just this track's terrible for AI. He's gonna come on the inside, send it way too deep, almost spin it. I'm gonna help him out by stopping him a little bit. That's rubber banding for you. Spinala TM. Welcome. How about that Finala couch from IKEA? That's a real couch name, by the way. A Finala. It's even spelled the same way. Come on. Okay. Step out. Alright, tires looking good for the last lap, so should be okay on that front. 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's a lot for a phone. That's like what my computer has. So rally car is pitting again because four-wheel drive is painful. You think Asphalt 9 will die after 6 years? Do you think it has 3 more years in it? Yeah, it makes sense. If something's worth 1 million won, there's never really regular items priced at $1 million US, so you can just Google the exchange rate to US dollars if you want to see the conversion. Selene 7 never appeared in Need for Speed, and only once in Asphalt. That must have been an old game, right? Like Asphalt 2, maybe? I think. I thought it was on one of the DS games. I don't know. Find the corner on a very stressful race with a lot of stupid AI, because this track is terrible for racing AI in. Imagine this track in GT Sport. I love driving it, but I hate racing AI on it. Alright, almost 10 minutes for that race, by the way. Yeah, Asphalt stream is 1 month ago, and then we'll get the plug pulled. So that's 80 points, that's 1 more until we can... Well, we guaranteed the championship, so we can leave now if we really wanted to, but... I'm going to obviously race out the rest of the series and see what we get. I know the prize cars in this series, and there's a couple I prefer. I'm not sure if I should cycle them. I've gone all the way this far without cycling prize cars. That was a better launch. I had to throttle early on in first gear to limit wheel spin. It was in Urban GT1. Yeah, I thought it was on one of the DS games. We're on the grass. Let's get out of the grass. Let's work our way around. Great. I mean, no matter what happens, we have the championship secured now. Vendy killed the game. Everyone likes to blame. In my opinion, the real culprit is the gaming market as a whole, because we're in this like stage of all video games, not just mobile. Paid video games do this too, but you make more money if you can keep a game, if you keep a player on a single game for longer. If you have a yearly release like Call of Duty, you have 3 studios simultaneously developing new games and getting them to buy, you know, $60 plus a DLC season pass plus microtransaction currencies. That makes money. Call of Duty games bring in a ton of money, but they also have tons of expenses. And for a smaller studio, I know it's Gameloft, there's a huge company, but if you're not Activision, basically, you have to get as much money as possible for your game to keep, you know, your doors open. And publishers and studios have found out that by running one game for years is cheaper than running a new game every year or every 2 years or something. And just putting cosmetic stuff, which is cheap, easy to program, and can, like, you know, appeal to emotions or nostalgia or some of the very powerful, like, you know, marketing tactics that companies use all the time. So, Gameloft is just doing what is kind of industry standard. Updating the game, putting in cars. Their real expenses are getting the licensing deals from manufacturers, and then obviously paying the programmers to put a car in, and model it. But they have a whole process they go through that's been pretty standardized now. But they haven't had to have a huge, you know, think about how to completely redesign a mechanic because they don't need to. It makes them more money if they just go at the same game they released 3 years ago and just keep updating it. Because a few years ago, games were getting updates anyway. You know, Gran Turismo 5 famously had updates and DLC while they were continually developing GT6 in one studio. And then GT6 was getting updates while GT Sport was getting developed. And GT Sport is, you know, getting updates, albeit less nowadays, but GT7 is currently in development. That costs money to do both at the same time. And while eventually, yeah, you will need to make a new game because stuff gets outdated, you could ride the wave for a year of, you know, releasing updates and DLC and cosmetics and stuff, and then think about starting a new game rather than think about a new game before Game Zero's already came out, you know? Looks like I've caught up a little bit. Thing is, if a vending games retired, then we'd have no more Asphalt at all, so here's the moral moment. Here's something I don't understand about game fandoms, and I used to be a part of this crowd too, and I might still be to an extent, but there's people who want companies like Gameloft and EA to go bankrupt and shut down and stuff. And they still will not only keep playing the game that they hate, but fork money over and stuff like that. Waste hours, lose sleep over it. If you guys want to send a real message, don't play their game and don't give them your money, especially. Because all businesses want your money. That's the goal. The goal of every single business is to make a profit. Even Friday Night Funkin', they raised like $4 million on a Kickstarter. That's a ton of money to make a game. And considering how, you know, cheap it was to develop in the first place, they don't need $4 million to do that. They get some licenses and some celebrities maybe, but they're pocketing so much cash. And they're seen as the great guys, because they were a free game on Newgrounds with barely any ads. But, you know, when they ask for money through a Kickstarter, everybody forks it over. And you know what? I hope they do well with what they've been given financially. But, you know, if you really want to send a message, you tell them with your wallet. You don't buy their game, you don't play their game, watch the ads that give them money. And then they'll listen. They'll think, okay, how can we engage more people and get them to play again? And that's where we'll have to think maybe we should have been more fair to the players on this economy or something like that. It happens. But people will be like, I hope Gameloft falls, or I hope Vivendi goes bankrupt or something. And if that does really happen, then the game gets no more updates. The game might even get its servers pulled, and then you can't play the game at all. And you'd be in basically the same spot as if you just, you know, stepped away yourself. Except you'd probably be mad because you wanted to keep playing. I'm not saying everybody's addicted, but there certainly feels like it these days. I don't think GT Racing 2 has gotten a content update in many years. Since like 2016 maybe. Maybe even earlier. I thought I got 4 million. I thought it was... Okay, if it's only 2 million. That's still a lot of money though. But, you know, 10 years ago, how Gameloft would make its money is you'd pay 99 cents or $5 maybe at the most for a game, and the game was yours. You got no ads. There was a couple microtransaction options at some point in some of the games, but they weren't heavily required, and the games weren't super competitive. You had multiplayer and leaderboards and stuff, but you can get to that point without a cent. And games used to have like cheat codes and stuff, because they don't care what you do. You already bought their game. They already got as much money as they were going to after you bought the game, so they don't care what you do with the game after you buy it. But obviously that model is dead. It doesn't make as much money anymore. Games are expensive to make nowadays. The graphics are really intense. You need a lot of staff. You need to actually make good plots, and you have to have good animation and stuff like that. It takes a lot to make a modern racing game or a modern any video game. Think of like The Last of Us. It's basically a movie. But, you know, 25 years ago we had Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy, which they had top-notch CGI for the 90s, but nowadays, like, you can recreate those cutscenes in a day. And even before that, like, think of like original Legend of Zelda. The story had to be told through the instruction booklet that came with the game, and a couple of text boxes down the line in the game. And, you know, that's one of the biggest series ever. Nowadays, Zelda does cutscenes and more text boxes and online stuff, but they don't have microtransactions. But it's still expensive to make. Just think big picture. Remember that you are one of almost 8 billion people on this planet, and if you step away from a game, there are 7.999 billion other people that they will try to get to play their game. And that's race 9, by the way. So, don't feel like you owe them your time, or they owe you anything as an individual. Unless you directly work for them or you're like a celebrity or something, but that's different circumstances. As a player that they're trying to get your money, any business, they don't care if you leave because they'll just get another customer. So, my life advice is, yeah, don't feel bad if you want to leave Asphalt, or if you're addicted to a game or something else that's, you know, not giving you fun anymore. Do what you want to do. Have fun with your life. The way I live and the way I see life is, you could drop dead today or tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised. You could do everything right and still be killed. I know people who never put a foot wrong in their life and then they die in a car accident or something. No fault of their own. They get hit by a drunk driver or a speeder, or they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, got caught up in like an accident. And that could happen to anybody. You can have an aneurysm and die in 5 seconds. So, you know, enjoy the life you do have because it's the only one you got. Of course, you should plan for the future, but don't spend your whole life waiting for something to happen, because if it doesn't happen, then you've wasted all that time waiting. You get what I mean? My point is, if you're playing video games, play what you want to play. I enjoy playing Gran Turismo 3 right now, so that's what I'm playing. If you enjoy Asphalt 9, more power to you. So we saved the game right before race 10, just in case. This might have been helpful to have the stage 2 tune up just because it's Tokyo. Let's see. You'll buy Game Loft and make it free to play with no limited pass, no hard SEs. But then how do you make money? That's the bingo. How do you earn money to keep your servers running and pay your employees? That would be my question to throw back at you. Donate tokens. You can't donate tokens. There's no token transfer. People would exploit that so fast. They brake so early for this corner. They literally crawl, and then they fly through the rest of the lap. Don't need a controller. But why? If you're talking about a PS2 controller, they don't make them anymore. It's hard to find them. I don't think many people will give you their controller for free. Mine's starting to give up a little bit. I got mine almost 10 years ago. This one, back when the PS2 is still being manufactured. Yeah, Asphalt 8 Plus, for all intents and purposes, it does the job well, and it's a great version of Asphalt 8. It seems like its economy is fair. I know I've never played it, and I've just seen what people have heard, and I watched, I think, one video. But it looks like what Asphalt 8 should have been long ago. Take the lead, and then we'll do what I think is the breaking point. They break so early still, even on rubber banding. Oh, I turned in way too early. How's my job going? I just got my next paycheck yesterday. So far it's going so well. I enjoy what I do, and I managed to get a day off next Friday, so I'm gonna go. I guess I forgot to tell you guys, so sorry if I'm going off track a little bit, but this will make sense in a second. There's gonna be no stream next week, at all. No stream at all, because I'm going down to where my college was. I'm going back to Peoria to spend a weekend with my college friends, my university friends. and because that's Labor Day weekend, so I have that Monday off, and I managed to get that Friday off next Friday. So I'm gonna basically spend 4.5 days in Peoria, and I'm not bringing any of my streaming equipment or anything, so no stream at all next week. Maybe I could try to get something done during the week, either next week or the week after, but yeah, take a nice little break. There's another F1 race, so we can still post about that and stuff like that. And obviously I'll be like there to chat in like Discord and stuff. One hour to go for 30 hours? Yeah. I'm debating if we should start the next championship or do half of it maybe. Oh, that was bad. Not my best driving on this lap. And top it off with a curb clip. Can't speak. Corner clip. So, the US. My company was planning to go back in September, mid-September. And now they pushed the date back to mid-October. At least 1 month. So, I don't know what's going to happen. We might have another lockdown at some point. The mask requirement is back in my state 100% for even vaccinated people. For everyone under the age of 2. So, I'm sure the crowd who doesn't have vaccine already will take kindly to that. But, I don't know what's going to happen. But my go-to is kind of enjoy the time I have while I have it, because if we have to do lockdown again, then it's going to be pain again. But even if we did a second lockdown, I feel like it wouldn't be as extreme as the first one, because every school and work and stuff would just be like, okay, just do what you've been doing before. No halted stuff, no flexibility. So, I don't know. Until they can get it under control and get, you know, everybody vaccinated, we're going to be stuck here for a while. Modified C quarantine. Take it easy on the last corner of the last race. Been a pretty easy, clean sweep. And the NSX has also been having a sweep of his own. But, across the line, we win it. That was a long championship. That was almost 2 hours of the stream. It was only like an hour and a half of driving, but that took a while. So I'm just putting on Tartari now. Well then. So yeah, rally cars are in pain. That was always going to happen. And the standings, 60 points for the NSX, 35 for the C5. They're actually tied, the C5R and the Pennzoil GTR. And then the Evo beat the Subaru. So that battle was settled there. Our prize money has pretty much increased by 250,000, so we're at 550 before the championship money. So that was a series that happened. For winning the championship, what's the money? Oh, 200 grand. We are rich, guys. That's a nice trophy, too. A trophy of a guy holding a trophy. What's our prize car? For winning GT All-Stars. I see a thing on the right that I want. I want to reset the prize car, but I don't know. Tuner Skyline. Well, I did have a backup. It's a GTR again, though. It's a Mine Skyline. It's got almost 600 horsepower, so it's fast. It'll be useful for professional race of Red Emblem. But not the best car in the prize car pool. Anyway, that is 47.3%. 82% win ratio, and yeah, that will be the end of the segment.